The new Big Five? Question mark? Thurman, this was your idea. Go.
So this video cracks me up to so funny because it just shows you that Jump isn't even trying anymore. They're literally they're not hiding it.
They know who butters their bread.
Like back then, it was just like you had to literally just like back then, back in like the One Piece, Naruto, Bleach days, right? You had to guess. Like people were like, Bleach is Big Three? No, it's it's Gintama. No, it's Kuroko no Basuke. Oh no, it's Session Classroom. But it's just like, bro, like come on.
It makes a great point because
Ass Class in the Big Three.
I don't know if it was ever part of the Big Three, but it sold a fuck ton. Like it was its own day's fucking Attack on Titan, if I remember correctly. Because I remember specifically that it was pretty big news that like Ass Class was like ranking above One Piece in the rankings quite a bit when it was first starting.
Wow.
Yeah.
So.
Because it's a fucking unique ass premise. Like people were like, "What the fuck? I love this." It was actually kind of like, it gives me kind of Chainsaw Man vibes. Like you know how we started reading Chainsaw Man and we were like, "This is so fucking unique." It's the same thing. Like when you start Ass Class, you're like, "This is really unique."
Because it's funny because. Yeah, look at my face without the hoodie on. Yep, time to
Hey,
go
the
back
audience doesn't have video, so unless you want me to fucking slap the video up, you gotta stop referencing that shit.
Good. So, what's funny to me is like back then you had to. It was obvious that Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece were the Big Three, right? Public Trinity, but it was still a debate, an argument among the community, right? Even though those three characters always smack dab in the front.
And by the way, there's credence to this theory because, like, before you're like, no, that's not a real thing or whatever, you could sell, like as Bleach fans, David and I can tell you right away that, like, the second Bleach stopped selling well, and the second, like, they started hoeing over Kubo left and right, you remember this, David? All the covers had Luffy, Naruto, and some random other fucker, and Ichigo small in the background. Like, you know how it be. The size of your character on the cover is directly proportionate to how much they give a fuck about your series. And one last thing, and then I'll hand it back over to you, Thurman. It's so funny because people have been like speculating for years, like, what's the new Big Three? What's the new Big Three? Even we've done it. Little did we know that we've been fucking guessing wrong the whole time. Big Three, outdated concept. We are now in the era, my friends, of the Big Five.
Big Five. Yeah. It's so funny because they don't like. You had it, but
Thurman, list off the Big Five like you're an anime, like announcing their pirate names, bro. I need to hear it.
Okay, so the Big Five: One Piece,
yep,
My Hero Academia, Black Clover, Dr. Stone.
Damn right.
Dr. Stone.
And Jujutsu Kaisen. So this is what cracks me up about this, right? About this magazine, and you can be like, "Oh, you guys are overthinking it. There's no credibility." First of all, fuck you, okay?
First of all, fuck you.
Shadow quote book. First of all, fuck you. Thank you.
On Twitter, okay, I follow a page that does. I know you guys probably see me retweet it. It says every manga Shonen Jump magazine cover. I know you guys probably see me retweet those.
Oh yeah.
It's this page that posts the history of every.
Yeah, they
every
just showed like
Shonen
the
Jump.
live action Gintama movie one, right?
Yeah, it posts. If he or she, whoever posts
every
single manga magazine panel, and if you go through that list like I do, it's relevant. They back in like the 80s and 70s, they didn't do this. Every time it was like a main character's cover, it was all the characters had like a limelight, all characters screen time. But if you go maybe from like the 90s forward, they clearly start to favor certain series, right? Like when it comes to like the 90s, like if you go to like just go strictly to like the main characters page, where it shows all the main characters of the magazine there, they have their most popular series in the front, and most of the series that don't get the much traction or still popular but not as popular get pushed to the back.
Ironically, just to be that guy, in this particular cover, you have the Big Five bigger, but they are technically in the back because the smaller series are on an ice cream cone that Luffy is shoving into the camera. But really, what's happening here is the accurate statement that One Piece is about to consume all of these other plebeian series and shit them out like the insignificant space dust they are.
They're basically saying that they're carrying the series, basically. They're carrying...
Yeah, you're right! Yo, you're fucking right. You're fucking right. That's so funny. And we just saw that Twitter. Remember all that Twitter fucking shit about the My Hero fans? Like Horikoshi carrying Jump, carrying the entirety of Jump, like Atlas carrying the Earth. And no, it's Luffy. You see, Deku ain't carrying that shit. It's all Luffy.
It's
Luffy.
It cracks me up, too, that they're not even hiding it. Like, they're literally not even hiding. They know for a fact what they're pushing towards. Because, like I was saying, if you go back and look at all the magazines that I retweeted, you'll see like Toriko was in the front, Luffy was in the front, Naruto, Ichigo was in the front. Like even like during Demon Slayers and Promised Neverland's era, I can't believe I get to say that now. Like when they were still serialized, it was what's this nigga's name? Tanjiro in the front.
You don't even know his fucking name.
Like they know, like, and it's funny too. It's crazy because they didn't start doing that until the '90s. If you go from the '90s forward, that's when they start doing this little favoritism type of thing. And I find it hilarious too because it's so blatantly obvious. They're like, okay, so and truly they actually have to do this, right? Because truly they lost 4 series that were making them money this year.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
They're panicking,
like,
bro.
It's not like how, because I know Bleach ended a year after
Bleach
Naruto,
ended
right?
in 2016, I think.
And then when did Naruto end? 2015?
Naruto ended before Bleach. I believe it was 2015 or 2014.
Yeah, so basically they had leeway. Naruto ended, one of the big series ended, but they still had Bleach and One Piece, so they
I'll be honest with you, by the time Bleach ended, Shonen didn't seem to care much about it. Like, I don't think, like, yeah, the volumes were still doing well. But, like, in terms of the magazine, like, the way they treated Bleach, it did not seem like they gave a fuck at all.
And it's funny because...
Bro, no, why are you fucking eating during the video? We've discussed this.
I'm hungry every eating all day.
I don't give a fuck. You wait.
You wait.
Oh, I have so many jokes that I could tell, but they would be inappropriate for videos. I'm going to send you a TikTok later, and it's going to scare you. It's going to scare you.
So, it's just because so like I said, they lost 4 of their series, right? And these 4 series are the series that were making the money. Like, we all know the Demon Slayer phenomenon. The anime boosted it up to the heavens.
Yeah, that the affordable effect.
They always say that the anime is simply a glorified advertisement for the manga.
Oh, yeah. The anime did justice. Affordable made the author rich.
Yeah,
Yep.
You're right, bro. Those animators should really... You know, that's some injustice right there, because how much are those animators getting paid? Probably not that much.
Fuck no, you know the industry, man.
So, like, honestly, if I was an animator, I'd fucking, like, go to his house in the middle of the night. I'd be like, you know what happened, right? Like, you really think you got that rich? You really think you got that rich by your efforts, bitch? You give me some. Give me fucking some right now, or your fucking wife's getting it. You got like a gun to the fucking head.
It's a her, by the way. It's a her.
Who?
The mom for Demon Slayer.
Excuse me. Are we not assuming that she's a gay woman?
Gay women?
I'm not. I'm just gonna pretend that I thought it was a girl all along, and I'm just being inclusive. But women, what the fuck, Thurman?
Hey,
homophobic over there?
So, because when I first thought about this video, it's just hilarious to me because I feel like this is the first time ever Jump has blatantly.
This was the most blatant one I've seen in a fucking long time, for sure.
Yeah, like this is like it's pure blatant. Like they know what they're doing. Like,
and I love it, by the way. I think that's a fucking sexy big 5. That's a good spread right there. Those are really diverse series.
Yeah. And so, because it puts Jump in a weird spot now because like we always talk about, when a series ends, especially a one that's making them money, it's always Jump always tries to, they always try to quickly find the next best
thing. They red sprite that shit, bro.
They're like, oh my god, what's the next series? Oh my god, what's gonna happen? Oh my god, Bleach is gone. So they did it with Bleach too.
They didn't give 2 fucks that Bleach was gone, man.
Do you remember? I mean, they did try to find something else for the slot. Do you remember Red Sprite?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm so pissed.
Yep. I always bring up Red Sprite because if I'm remembering correctly, Red Sprite was what took Bleach's slot, like directly after Bleach ended. And they were trying to market it as like, here's your replacement, Bleach fans.
Yep.
And
well, I mean, to be fair, they marketed fucking Black Clover as the replacement for Naruto.
Ugh. Yeah.
And Demon's Plan too. Demon's Plan was another one.
Yeah, I remember Demon's Plan. Andy really liked it.
I loved it. I'm so damn it. So now that we got into this discussion of how blatantly obvious they're trying to push it, it makes sense because if you look at if you follow the Oricon sales like we do, those are actually some of the best selling ones right now. It's funny, I'm actually shocked Chainsaw Man's not on there because Chainsaw Man's actually selling really, really well.
Is Denji on the little cake or the ice cream?
No, but I'm saying like as far as the big five is concerned.
Right. I was just making sure I guess they maybe it's a marketability thing. Like Chainsaw Man is, and also they probably know. Like, let's be honest, they know Chainsaw Man's ending soon, right? I think that they're trying to stick with their long running because Dr. Stone has already been confirmed to be going for a much longer time. They said that in their interview that they did. One Piece has a good 5 years at least left. Jujutsu Kaisen, I don't know. Black Clover, you said the man literally said he wanted to do like a One Piece length series, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking wild. Good for him. Good for fucking him. Wild. And then My Hero, I would imagine, has another 200, 300 at least. So, yeah, I mean, I think that they're trying to go for, like, long running. I think that's probably, because that's typically what you want to do to market as, like, a big five, is the ones that they're gonna be around for a long time.
And with Fujimoto's history, like...
They know Fujimoto. That motherfucker, that manga's done within 20 chapters.
Yeah, there's not much more to do in Chainsaw Man. And I know we get flack for it in comments. We get, like, all the people like, you're wrong. Series can go on for years.
Just hurt, bro.
That series is eternal pain, and your pain will be it ending within like 20, 30 chapters.
That's gonna be like one of the devils, it's gonna break the fourth wall. It's gonna be like, well, in order to summon this devil, the grief devil, I have to end the series before you see the grief devil. You see, so it's a weird contradiction.
And
just make it the flex devil, flexing on all the fans.
Nux Taku comes out.
Yes.
I'm happy too because as a Black Clover fan,
I'm sorry. When you say as a black, I was waiting for you to pull out the as a black man.
As a Black Clover fan.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you do something for me? Can you say as a Black Clover fan, please?
As a Black Clover fan.
It's so dumb, but I love it.
Holy shit!
It's interesting because Black Clover's like popularity has been overshadowed a lot. We see in the history back in 2016 when.
Well, to be fair, like Red said, like the anime is
the anime.
I was going to say like animation. I'm like,
oh, it's okay. I know what happened. You had like a stroke midway through the word. It happens to me a lot.
The anime is meant to be this marketing tool for popularity, and the first fucking chapter of that series has one panel of Asta cutting wood, and they're like, that's 3 minutes of the fucking anime. Him going, and that was people's first impression with the series.
Yeah, it did not have a strong start off, but it's gotten
And what made it hurt too is the fact that it was pushed to be a Naruto clone, which hurt it.
Yep.
And it really wasn't. And the fact of the matter is that Black Clover was always trying to be pushed by Jump. And what unfortunate is a lot of people were like the new big three: One Piece, My Hero, and Black Clover. As a Black Clover fan, that really wasn't the case anymore because at once The Promised Neverland and Demon Slayer got popular, Black Clover got pushed to the side.
Yep.
It was all about Asta moved like 2 seats back. And it was either Emma or Tanjiro that was in the beginning of the magazine. Like,
but you know what Asta did? He fucking out-survived. He outlasted them.
Oh, yeah, he outlasted them because the thing is that while we have our issues with The Promised Neverland, I don't know about them, but I 100% think Black Clover is better than The Promised Neverland, 100%. Part 1, probably not. But
can you imagine if the Promised Neverland author came to like a con and we could just go and like how rude would you be willing to be if you met the Promised Neverland author?
I wouldn't be rude because I did enjoy the series before it came to shit.
Could you maybe how do you walk that tightrope? Because I've met people before where I have like criticism of their work. Like I want to be like, here's what I like and here's what I think you should have done differently. But I don't want to be that guy. But I do want to be that guy. And I'm like, damn it.
That's you anytime you would meet somebody that's in charge of Ruby.
Oh my god.
Miles, you carry shoulder.
Remember when I met Mike McFarland and like I shat on Viz's dubbing. I was like, Funimation, your guys' dubbing is great. Other companies, however.
And you mentioned Hunter x Hunter specifically.
I was like, I wish you guys got Hunter x Hunter.
So
Gone.
when it comes to that, like I prefer Black Clover over Demon Slayer and Promised Neverland, but clearly the fans didn't. And so while they shot up in popularity, Demon Slayer way more so because of the anime
and Ninja, the Twitcher.
Yeah, they were like, oh, Jump was like, oh, okay, so Black Clover is getting overshadowed. Because you have to remember that there are series in Jump that will never be in the spotlight, but they're making just enough money and have enough fans to stay in. Like, let's take Gintama, for example. Gintama is a special case. I like having a category for series like Gintama because it's a series that's popular, but not popular enough to get like the special bonus.
It's a back burner series. That's what I call them.
So
that's what Black Clover became for a while, right? It wasn't like part of like the huge big popular ones. It wasn't like the big three or whatever, but it was definitely like a good seller for them. It was kind of like when if you invest like your money into like a nice stock market, not like a huge one that's gonna make you millions, but like one that is like slow, reliable, and will make you a couple $100 every month. You know what I mean? Like that's what Black Clover became for them for a while. It was like, you are the good old reliable. You'll always make us money. You're not like doing crazy numbers, but you're doing good numbers. That's what Black Clover was for a bit.
Yeah, because we always throughout history we've had that. Toriko was one of them. Toriko, because it's funny too, because Toriko was actually pushed at one point to be a rival to the big three, but
there
it
was
never.
A point where it was.
It never fell fruit because I know if you those of you who played J-Stars, I think Toriko replaced Ichigo as the front of the cover. I think.
Someone's computer keeps going boo-doo-doo. So could you guys figure that out while I look for the J-Stars cover?
Yeah,
that's not mine. I have
I could be wrong, but I think Toriko. Yeah, it's mine. I still have Google Chrome up. It was Facebook.
Oh, okay. I will check what the cover. No, the cover of J-Stars had like literally everyone on it. Like there's really no.
Because I know
look up the cover of like Google it, Thurman. It's got like quite literally like everyone.
Because
there's like 25 characters on this bitch.
That Toriko at one point was like because it was really popular too. Okay, yeah, J-Star. I have to remember because I think it was one of the things that I saw. But
what about Jump Force? Who's on that? Oh yeah, that's just no, Jump Force is the ultimate Bleach cuck. Like I want everyone to understand. You want to know about Bleach getting cucked? Look at Jump Force. It's like Naruto, Luffy, Goku.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like Dragon Ball Super was just getting popular during that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Obviously, Goku has to be on there, but it should have been 4 motherfuckers. It should have been Naruto, Luffy, Ichigo, and then Goku in the front, like leading.
I mean, to be fair though, it was from marketing standpoint, it makes sense because that's what's most popular in the West right now. Those 3.
No, but Bleach is huge in the West, Thurman. Bleach in the West is like. Bleach in the Japanese, like, it was like, okay, all right. Bleach in the West was always huge. Like, the aesthetic of Bleach, fucking, like, the Westerners love it. Like you look at the sales and shit. I'm just saying, that's, like, literally both of you fuckers, Google Jump Force right now and tell me that's not, like, an immediate cucking of Ichigo and Bleach. Like, that shit.
I'm not denying it's the cucking.
We already know that. We're not going to deny
that shit hurts, man. That shit hurts.
From a marketing standpoint, it makes sense because those 3 are way more popular than Bleach.
I feel my inner James Hansen coming out, bro. It's like Thurman, I need to. There's a joke I want to tell, but I need you to tell it. You remember in Boondocks when they're talking about a blank moment?
Oh, nigga moment?
Yeah. I'm having a James Hansen moment. Like the spirit of James Hansen is coming out of me, and he's like, Bleach is being cucked, and I'm angry about it. Help!
So, going back to it, so Toriko at that one point, because like series like Toriko, Kuroko no Basket, like Gintama, those series are series that clearly jump like. They're like the younger sibling sort of thing, right? Like they're not the main focus, but when it comes right down to it, they will, because they got animes, they got some of them got like I wouldn't say video games, but they got representation. They have big fans, like because I know Jump. I know Kuroko no Basket got a few crossovers with a few people, like a few references and stuff like that. So those are series that are not at the top. But Jump is like, okay, you're not our best sellers, but you're still making us money, so we're going to throw you guys a bone. That's what Black Clover was for a little bit once Promised Neverland and Demon Slayer came in. Yeah. But now that they're gone, I love the fact that Jump is like, all right, Black Clover, you're back in the spotlight.
Swooped back in, bro. That is truly, like, that is literally the equivalent of, like, when like, a girl you have a crush on has a boyfriend, and then you're there as like the guy to like talk to, like my boyfriend's being
I'm
such
sorry
a dick.
It's not going well.
My boy, yeah, like you're in the
You
friend zone
found
for
out
a
he
while.
wasn't shit, right?
You're in the friend zone for a while, and then all of a sudden she's upset about some shit, and you're like, oh man, what's up? Let's talk about it. My boyfriend's being a dick. Like, oh really? Well, let's talk about that. Do you need a replacement? By the way, I am 100% memeing. Do not emotionally take advantage of women like that. Definitely.
Or men. Don't take a men.
Nah, men can handle it. Fuck men.
Fuck
Brad,
men.
fuck you.
So,
You're not a man, David. You're gender fluid. You're neither.
Oh.
Gender fluid. Yeah, we love you and all your fluids.
Thurman's right. I love all the types of fluids you are.
So it's because I find it so funny because One Piece is here to stay. Like
Oh God, yeah. One Piece is here until fucking hell freezes over.
I'll be honest with you. I think that they're gonna try to develop like what's the word? Cybernetic.
Cybernetic.
I thought there was another syllable in there. Anyway, cybernetic robot parts to like keep him alive, to keep right. Like I'm not fully convinced
He's
that
gonna
when
be
he
the
wants.
Futurama head in a jar.
I'm genuinely worried that when he wants to end it, they're gonna like do the fucking astronaut meme, no, you're not ending it, bitch. Like gun behind his head. Like I'm like, actually scared about that shit.
I find it so funny too because a lot of people are just like One Piece is part of the new big three. It's not still big five.
It is 100% fucking dumbass.
It's still here. One Piece has been part of the big three for technically three now generations. The late '90s. So let me tell you what the history of big three was.
While Thurman goes off about One Piece, I'm gonna go take a piss.
All right, you do that.
Early '90s, it was Dragon Ball.
He's draining all his gender fluids, bro.
Dragon Ball Z.
That was funny. You laugh.
Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Slam Dunk. That was the first big three for the '90s. Late '90s, it was One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, and Rurouni Kenshin.
And it could have fucking stayed that way if it weren't for your darn hiatuses, Togashi.
And then the 2000s, it was Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece. And now
that's my generation, baby.
And yeah, in 2016, 2017, it was thought to be One Piece, Black Clover, My Hero, but no, that's not the case. And now
it's been iffy.
Officially by Jump, it's the big five instead of big three. And it's funny too. The big five makes more sense because
not only does it make more sense, I like it. Like I love looking at this spread. Like when I look at the spread, I'm like that shit looks good. Like I can see these fuckers as like the representatives of Jump. Like I love it. And I'm so happy Senku's there, bro. Senku is literally, I'm not kidding, like if we're talking like top 10 favorite fictional characters ever, he's in that bitch. Like he's such a good character. I'm so glad he's up there.
And I love for the fact too that now that it's a big five, this could bring more opportunities for other authors for more competition to be up there.
Yeah.
Exactly. So changing from the big three to big five is the biggest thing for me as a fan here, because look at throughout history, it's been the most debated thing for us fans. But right now we're in this era where like we have this debate, but it's not as bad because we know what's selling because we live in the fucking age of connected technology. Like, well, this series is selling this well, and like we're guilty of this too. We're like micromanaging what might get axed and what might not get axed.
Right, but that's only if it's got like a chance to get axed. When we were making fun of those fuckers earlier, it was when they were like the type of people that would like look at like a series that's already selling fine. Like they'd obsess over like My Hero's sales. Like relax, My Hero will be fine.
My Hero will be fine because it also has in it the merch, the marketability, the fact that it's got like all these spin-off movies coming around the corner.
My Hero is also like it's literally like when the My Hero movie came out in America, it did better than a lot of Hollywood movies. That it was wild. Like anime is now officially mainstream, motherfuckers. Like it's wild.
Yeah, it is like the most mainstream that we'll ever get here in America, and that's a great thing for us as fans because we see it popping, for periods of time, like these big, fucking multi-million-dollar movies.
Now y'all ready? When Trump tries to ban anime, we're all gonna fucking like charge the White House with our katanas, right?
Yeah, straight up.
Sometimes I worry about that. Sometimes I have sleep paralysis dreams about that.
You see, Japan is trying to usurp the American culture with this weeaboo bullshit.
It's sending
to
in the
ban
lolly
the
porn,
anime.
turning all of our citizens into degenerates.
Weren't you connected to Epstein, bitch?
No, it's funny. I want to talk about like we know
Such...
we know One Piece and My Hero are obvious for being in the top 5, but it's just like the other 3, like
Can we talk about Dr. Stone? Can we give a massive shout out, props to Dr. Stone making it up there? That's fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, that warmed my cold little heart.
If you look at the rating, its volumes, it's been selling hella well. Every new volume it gets, it sells better than the last.
Such a unique series. Like I've never read a series. I can truly say I've never read a series like that before.
And it's funny too.
You do say it's not rereadable.
And it's funny too because we all know about the Act Age situation. Like Act Age was becoming was selling because technically speaking, Act Age and Jujutsu Kaisen were around the same time, so they're going to be like rivals when it comes to like popularity. But I think I really feel like Act Age probably would have gotten that spot if it wasn't for the fact that you know what happened, right?
You know what I just realized? Are you ready for some dark shit I just thought about? We live in a world where motherfuckers are going to burn their volumes because their ships didn't pan out right, but I guarantee you we're going to see no word of volumes being burned over this.
Oh, you already know.
No, but Jump is suspending all the fucking reprintings of it.
Right. Just go and buy your fucking shit now.
And we'll never see the final chapter printed here in America, so yeah.
And it's crazy because if we look at the list of manga that are out right now in Jump, like Under and Lux too new, it can be a big 5. Chainsaw Man
has potential though. Chainsaw Man's too short. It's gonna end too quickly.
Too short. You know, Ayakashi Triangle's too new. Dolphin and Cop is too new. Like We Never Learn is gonna be ending soon, and it's funny too because We Never Learn is technically one of the new age longest running series in Jump, over 5 years.
Yeah, it's wild. We're coming up on so much shit ending too. Like it's wild, man. Jump needs to start heading to the fucking drawing boards here, and oof.
Because I mean, if we look at the big 5 right now, Dr. Stone, I'm so happy Dr. Stone is there because I was just like, because there's really, if we discuss it, there's really no other series in Jump right now that can beat those 5.
Yeah.
Like if we're actually thinking about it, like there's nothing really else that could like everything that those 5 had competition with is gone. Haikyuu is gone. Haikyuu would have been there, but it's gone. Demon Slayer would have been there, but it's gone. Promise Never would have been there, but it's gone. Yuna wasn't even on the radar, but it still survived somehow, and that's gone. And then now we have
Mashal that might make it. We have
selling well, so that could possibly because it's funny too because they could have put that Yozakura family there, but that shit survived by a breath, breath. And
it's not horrible, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not axable yet. So
it does need to grow.
I mean, because with series like that, they have a lot of shielding behind it. Like Yozakura family has a lot of shielding behind it. Like it had Bone Collection, the Metatima Security Busters, Guardian of the Witch. Like it had a lot of stuff that people were trying to get axed before it. So no one's really putting focus on it because it's literally like in the middle ground. Like it's getting bigger because
There's so much other fodder there.
Yeah, there's a lot of other fodder there. So no one's really focusing on it. And
it's losing that padding though really quickly.
Yeah,
Bone Collection, Mitama, Mora King probably getting axed in the next couple issues. Like it's definitely to the point where like its eyes are going to be on it for the next big axathon.
And when it comes to that, you don't really know, like, because it's technically once it hits 50, it technically could pass that axe mark. Because I know Samurai 8 was literally only survived as long as it did because of fucking Kishimoto. And I know there are a few manga back in the day that got axed when there was close to 100 chapters. Like Samon the Summoner got axed at 86 chapters. I was upset about that. I love that manga. I know there's a very popular dancing manga that got axed at chapter like 64. Robot X Laser Beam got axed at chapter 64.
Oh, Brad heard all about that for like a week.
Yeah, that was another one Andy really liked.
And so it's funny too because Jump, it's all gonna be about its volume, because when it comes to Jump now, I think we can all agree on this. I think it's kind of a known fact. You have to survive there's two stages of getting axed. You have to survive the survey portion of it, and then once you
I'll break the stages down, my friend. Don't you worry about that. So the rankings matter in the first 15 to 20 chapters, okay? And that's when you got to stay above the bottom 5. Bottom 5 is danger zone. Bottom 3 is like you're guaranteed to get axed, basically. And then once you're into the 20 to like 80 chapter range, then it's all about your volume sales. Like as long as you're okay, your volumes, it really is the 2-step identification type situation. You got to really, and then once you hit chapter 100, you're pretty good as long as nothing happens. Yeah.
Unless you Kubo it.
I mean, Kubo just apparently overstayed his welcome.
he fucked the editor's wife once too many times.
Yeah, no, Jump was like, you should have ended it after Aizen.
Yeah, because it's funny too. That is the 2-stage process. You have to read that shit perfectly. The surveys and then the volume sales. And unfortunately,
surveys, volume sales, and not committing a crime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't forget about that. That's important third step.
I mean,
it also depends on the severity of the crime too, because look at Lock Horizon, tax evasion, you're back in immediately.
I mean, it really depends on, but the third one shouldn't be mentioned because that's just
I know I'm memeing.
Basic human decency. I know you are, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That should be an issue.
Anyway, though, we are hitting a half hour here, so like, I'm just saying beginning to wrap up, like within the next 10 minutes.
So, I'm curious, what do you guys, so the 5 series, I know, Red, you only read like 2 of them.
Bullshit, motherfucker!
Oh, 3, no, I'm sorry, 3 of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say. And I've read some, like 80 chapters of Black Clover.
Yeah, so basically...
And I'm starting to read Jujutsu Kaisen, so fuck you.
Oh, please do. My asshole's ready. Anyway, David, me and you read all 5. Well, besides, you don't read My Hero, but...
No, he doesn't read One Piece either. He read a bunch and then stopped reading.
I'm letting the shit catch up to like my standards. So, like, here's a big giant chunk for me to read one day.
What, for One Piece?
Yeah.
Like, you didn't like it.
How I'm. I literally just let shit come in chunks. Like that's what I did with fucking Hunter x Hunter 2.
Let shit come in chunks. I like that sentence.
So we all read majority of the big 5. So what are you guys' take on are you guys surprised about anything?
Oh, I love it. I'm not surprised. I guess the only thing I'll say is I want to give props to Jujutsu Kaisen. Getting in quote unquote the big 5 before you even get an anime, hella impressive.
Oh yeah, I'm actually shocked it was there. I thought, because like I said, I don't have to look and see what Jump has right now. I don't really know what could like.
I guess maybe it just got it by default, like because you are out of. We got these 4, and then okay, what after this? Well, everything else is either short, just beginning, just ended, not going to be there long enough to yada yada.
Or is in a different magazine.
I think it's really important. I think it's an important standard that it's going to be long running. I think that's a big thing for them, and I think that's probably why they ended up choosing Jujutsu Kaisen, because it's probably going to be like at least 300 chapters from the vibe.
Because I mean, there's nothing else like Hardboiled Cop and Dolphin only 6 chapters, like Magu-chan 7 chapters.
I'll be honest, with a title like that, it's not getting popular.
Me and Roboco,
5
chapters. The only thing that could have been a competitor was Yosukura Family, but like me and David just talked about, it's too up in the air. It's too up in the abyss. And then then Ghost Rider, and then Undead Unluck, we know is going to be a bestseller. The manga volumes are selling well, but it's still too new.
Mm-hmm.
And also, let's be real, that's not a very marketable series.
Yeah, that's true.
No, not yet anyway. And then everything else is just either below 30 chapters or and then even 8 Gravity Boys, no one's talking about that series.
It's an interesting time for Jump because the majority of the series in there are brand new.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's crazy. And then
I think
besides
this is really an unprecedented time, pun intended.
yeah, besides like we never learn, like, but that's ending in September or November, so that's ending soon. Like, and then Chainsaw Man is a special case because it could be ending soon. We don't know. They could have different plans for it. It could be a Toriko Gintama situation to where they want to keep that series like be its own little box thing. Because I mean, they could have put Spy X Family in there, but
Well,
But
is
it's
that?
Jump
I don't think that. I
Plus.
think it's a whole different magazine. I think.
I think it's Jump Plus.
Mm.
so it's interesting because I really think Jujutsu Kaisen deserves it because there's no question that Dr. Stone got there because it's increasing in sales and it's one of the most long running series right now. Dave,
And it's good as fuck.
One of the 5 years. Black Clover and My Hero are Black Clover is a completely obvious choice. It's getting
Yeah, I mean it's your typical like Black Clover is out of everything on this list. It is the typical
most
long-running shonen that like your typical like shonen tards are gonna love. That's not an insult, by the way. You always got to have one of those, and I'd be sad if you didn't. Like you always got to have one.
Yeah, and it's with that too. It's just like I know the Twitter fanboys hate it when they see Black Clover doing well, but selling well. The anime is actually one of the top animes in Japan right now. People are loving the anime.
Getting better.
Apparently, it got better, but I think
the animation quality has picked up from what I've seen of like low clips.
It's like
on Twitter.
It's the One Piece, Naruto, and Dragon Ball Z effect anime wise that a lot of people are loving it. So it's more like it's becoming more of like their SpongeBob Fairy Odd Parents type thing to where like
Nickelodeon, the ones that they rely on. I got you.
Yeah, it's gonna be on the person. I don't know how the TV blocks work in Japan, but it's gonna be on reruns everywhere in one station. It probably has check out Black Clover every Friday at midnight or something like shit like that, right? Like new episode every Friday, stuff like that.
Try to do your announcer voice. Okay, your edgy announcer voice, but do it in Japanese. Like
And just like that, we all got canceled.
Because
every Friday at 3:30.
Just like Uncle.
By the way, when I do accents, I don't understand why people think that's racist. Like like when I do accents, it's because I just like it's funny to me. It's not but it's not disparaging. It's not like I'm like, oh, you're dumb. Like no, they're definitely smarter than me because they know 2 languages. Like I would expect them if I fucking came over there and tried to speak Japanese, I would have zero problem with them being like, ha, this fucking American with this fucking like listen to how dumb he's pronouncing that shit. It's just funny. Fuck off. Thank you. Gotta cover myself.
So, because like Uncle Production said in his video about the Black Clover anime, is that they wanted an anime that they know is going to be long running. And Studio Pierrot, as you do, Studio Pierrot, like their long running shit, they're gonna. It's the thing that's gonna be a long running shonen, and that's what it does. And my series like My Hero is seasonal. So it's not gonna get that same traction. That's why like series like One Piece and Dragon Ball Z are so popular, is because you can see
as we've mentioned clearly earlier in different videos today, people have zero fucking patience, and there is a subsection of fans that literally need content every week. Otherwise, their fucking dumb ape brains will like lose interest.
So Black Clover was obvious, right?
Seasonal is better in every way. Fuck you if you think otherwise. It gives the animators more time. It makes the animation better. There's no filler. Fuck off.
Yep,
and then My Hero and One Piece are obvious. You don't need to argue why they're in the top 5. So it's really interesting. We're in this era of a whole new change of a top 5. Now I'm gonna say this for the people who want to ruin our parade, as they do. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a big 3 main character magazine at some point. You already know it might happen, but I think this solidifies it that they know what they're putting their money into. They know for a fact that if they ever make a new Jump Force game,
and it's please be good,
and it's going, these 5 are most definitely going to be in the hell. They might even fuck around and put Senku in the game. You never know.
I would love it. Fuck around and find out. Just might put Senku in this bitch.
Because I mean, think about it. J-Stars had a cast of characters that were from comedy series that don't even fight.
There was a cop that would like have his gun and like shoot ping pong balls.
Yeah, and shit. Like he was a gag series, and he had crossovers
like
with
1,000 fucking plus chapters.
Senku in the tank, bro, coming in.
So like, they know what they want, right? So, because I'm gonna be real, bro, jokester characters are very popular in fighting games. Dan Hibiki's pretty popular.
Oh yeah.
So it's interesting because I know when is the next anniversary? I know it's next year, right?
I don't know.
Because this year was it was when Jump Force got announced. It was the 55th. No, wait, no 50th because J Stars was the 45th, right?
You think so?
So it was the 50th. So it's gonna be the 55th.
You know,
year.
I would not be surprised if they took a long time before making the next one because Jump Force was like basically a flop. At least J Stars sold well, to my knowledge.
Yeah, I mean it's every 5 years though. It's every 5 years. Every 5 years they have a new Jump crossover.
You say that, but Jump Force fail horribly?
Oh yeah.
No, it actually sold well.
It sold well, but it was
all based off the hype, I suppose. But either way,
yeah.
Beginning to wrap this up though, because we're hitting 40 minutes now.
So the only thing I really want to weigh in here on is this is clearly two big things. This is like popularity and marketability.
Yeah.
You have the 5 most popular series in the magazine right now, front and foremost, and you have the marketability of them all being like sort of like in this genre-friendly aspect. You have One Piece being the golden goose of everything wholesome and good and everything in shonen standards.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. One Piece goes hard.
It goes hard, but it's like in this demographic, it is the most marketable, most relatable to all sorts of.
Yeah, it's basically the face of shonen. Like I imagine, like when the day One Piece ends, it's gonna be like in the offices of shonen. The day One Piece ends, it's gonna be like that SpongeBob gif where there's a million SpongeBobs running around and everything's on fire and the fucking papers are flying around on fire. Yeah.
You have the most relatable lessons. You have the most content that people can just latch onto. Like, I relate to this.
That shit is shonen incarnate. Yeah, that's like this generation's. Well, I don't know. We've said that about My Hero too. It's not. I don't know. I wouldn't say this generation's DBZ because that's more like My Hero.
Yep.
I don't know what you'd call it, but it's really good. It has that enigma of being like really popular, but like sometimes things are popular because they're like really simple. Like One Punch Man, super simple concept, so it got popular. My Hero Academia, super simple concept, got popular. One Piece, I think is really only so popular because it's not really that simple. It's actually, I think it's just really popular because of how fucking good the world building is, honestly.
The world building, the relatability to the certain aspects of everything, and you also have the familiarity of the series has been around for almost 35 years.
True, and you saw too, like when the pandemic was just starting, like it became a Twitter meme, like, "Hey guys, you're all in quarantine. Watch One Piece, read One Piece, catch up in One Piece." Like that was like the thing to say. So like it's such a good story that like you have like an army of people pushing it on other people.
Yeah, and with My Hero Academia, you have the marketability of this generation's Dragon Ball Z. You have the flashy fights. You have the dumb premise of like this person punched this person.
It's flashy. It's got cute characters. It's got everything. Yeah.
Yeah. With Jujutsu Kaisen, you have the more dark story of like bordering on sinning.
From what I hear, more complex, like Hunter x Hunter-esque.
Yeah. You have the complex plots. You have all the shit going on in the background.
It has Bleach too.
Yeah, it has the Bleach vibe. It has all of that shit that was missing from the magazine. With Black Clover, you have the more magic aspect, which is a very, very marketable premise for fans to be like, I like Harry Potter, or I like Fairy Tail, but Fairy Tail is gone. And J.K. Rowling's a fucking turf, so let me latch onto this.
And then Dr. Stone is for the Rick and Morty fans. 189 Haikyuu, baby.
You have the smart boy. You have the enigma of the magazine itself. Like, there's no way this series should have gotten as popular as it is. You know, from a shonen standpoint.
You know what I just realized what Dr. Stone is of this generation? It's the Death Note.
It really is.
Because it's the series that doesn't focus on action that much, but it's a lot more about like just like smart stuff.
Yeah. Science, logic.
Historical category? Historical Gintama category during this era? Or was it like a big 3 type of thing?
What was the question? I didn't hear you.
Was it just Death Note a part of like the Gintama Toriko?
When was Death Note? I'll Google when Death Note was for you. Hold on. I think it was mid to early 2000s, I think.
Yeah, that wasn't my era. So was it like in the same realm as like the big 3, or was it like the same realm as like the Toriko?
Death Note was. Oh, yeah, that's the anime. Let me find the manga here. The manga went from 2003 to 2006.
Yeah.
So was it in what category?
That would have been so Bleach would have just been starting. Like that would be like early days for Bleach. That would be like mid days for Naruto. That would probably be like Naruto Sasuke final fight days for Naruto. Beginning of Shippuden days for Naruto.
2012 was Toriko because I have the final issue of Shonen Jump right here.
Mm-hmm.
I have that one too. But yeah, no. So when Death Note was running, we're talking early Bleach. We're talking like end of part 1, beginning of Shippuden Naruto.
Yep.
2006 for One Piece. Probably thinking like Sky Island to CP9 shit for One Piece. Like around there.
CP9 because I was getting the fucking issues of Shonen Jump because I have like from like 2004 to 2012 still in like print Shonen Jump.
So was it a competitor?
I mean, Death Note was fucking huge when it was out.
Yeah, it was like super big, but it was also.
But it was in a different category, similar to how we're talking about here. Like,
I mean, like, was it in like the Toriko Gintama category, or was it in like the big 3 category?
It was. I don't think it was ever big 3 category because it was so
more
different.
Back burner.
Hold on.
Oh.
It was so different, you know what I mean? It's just like how we're talking about, like, you know, how Black Clover took that back seat. I think it's just like it didn't really, and especially back then. I think now what people consider in the big whatever is a little bit more broad. Like it doesn't have to be particularly fighting, but back then, early days of shonen, a shonen had to be all about training and fighting and fighting and training. So I feel like back then people loved it, but they didn't consider it like a normal shonen because it wasn't really action oriented.
Oh yeah, because
wasn't Slam Dunk part of the big 3 at one point, Thurman?
Maybe.
Which one?
Wasn't Slam Dunk technically part of the big 3 at one point?
Yeah, that was early 90s.
So like it's more like because it wasn't focused on the training and all that shit that it didn't sit there in that forefront, like Red's saying. But like with Dr. Stone, we sit on that little tiny precipice of like the enigma being brought to the forefront because there's. The demographic for Shonen Jump has kind of switched to our generation in a way, while also still focusing on like the younger brother to us, or the younger sibling to us, or even our kids. You know.
By the way, I was just guessing, but I was spot the fuck on. I just Googled it. In terms of like when Death Note was running, it was right around like the final Naruto Sasuke fight, and then beginning Shippuden.
Yep.
So yeah, anyway, though, wrapping this up before it hits 50 minutes because I see the algorithm, and the second it goes over 50 minutes, people don't watch.
Yeah, so just wrapping this up in a neat little bow. That marketability is right here with these 5 series. The focus of everything that is Jump in its multiple directions right now, because we live in an era of digital, where we can sit there on Sunday morning, unless you're one of those heathens we talked about in the other video we filmed today.
Some people go to church. Some people read One Piece.
Unless you're one of those people that can't wait and just read the Raws and then just try to read the Raws, I should say.
You know what is amazing? There's definitely like a kid out there that's being like drugged to fucking Sunday school, and like they're like sneaking their fucking phone underneath a pew reading One Piece.
Oh, no doubt.
I
hope that person is also reading Dr. Stone after that.
Oh yeah. I'm a man of science, mother.
Fuck your church. I'm a man of science.
It's a common misconception that religion and science have to be separate, by the way. Those are just dumb Christians that think that. Moving on.
Yes. So, like, we have our new Big 5 here. And the era of Jump that we're in, we're going to see this fluctuate quite a bit in the next couple of years, too. And we're going to play the dartboard game that we always play when one of these big series ends. And that's where things are going to get really interesting for Jump as well. Because at this point, we have, 10 series that are in the 20 or under market right now?
And half of those might even get axed. And it's funny, too, because I don't know if you guys saw the ranking, but Magu-chan got his first ranking today. It was actually number 4.
Oh, nice.
It's actually pretty good. I'm actually enjoying it, too. It's actually very adorable. Very, very laid back, adorable series. So
final thoughts for everyone.
Yeah, bro, I'm actually really hyped. This Big 5 thing kind of, it's still fucking hilarious to me how Jump just literally flat out just said what their intention.
Here's our focus, bitches.
That shit's cover photo worthy too. I fucking love it.
Oh yeah, because it's just so funny. Because at the time, I felt like Jump tried to hide like what they were doing with like their covers, but like, come on, Like people like us who review this shit.
To be honest, you have to have a very high IQ to understand.
Like people
what
like
shonen
us
does.
who like to analyze shit. Like and you fought like literally look at the main character every time there's like a main character cover page. Like, come on, Luffy's always in the front, Naruto's always in the front, Goku's always in the front. Like, come on, like Ichigo's always. Come on, bro. Like you know, and it's so funny that they're just like, fuck it. We know we know what our marketing is going towards. So these 5 are the ones that's probably gonna hold us over because
10,
one
9, 8,
So that's
7, 6, 5, 4.
Yeah.
Say your last words now. Peace.